And now for a more comprehensive coverage of U.S. President Trump's speech at the National Assembly that took place about an hour ago. Now, the highlight of President Trump's second and final day of his state visit to South Korea was highly anticipated address to the National Assembly. Now, it is the first speech to the country's parliament by a sitting U.S. president in nearly a quarter of a decade, of a century, that is. And for the details on what his message was, we now go straight to our parliamentary correspondent, Kim Min-ji, standing by. Now, Min-ji, you were at the scene, naked eye, watching the U.S. President Donald Trump. How did you see it? Did he refrain from his usual bellicose rhetoric, or was it more reserved?
Salmon, well, we could say it was a little bit more reserved. President Trump's speech lasted a little longer than expected, with much of the focus on North Korea. He briefly talked about the miracle in South Korea developing from a war-torn country to one of the biggest economies in the world. He said this is, in fact, what the North Korean regime fears. Trump said the more successful South Korea becomes, it discredits the dark fantasy of the Kim Jong-un regime. He also called North Korea a cruel leadership. Trump also had a message for the North Korean leader. He said the weapons that the regime is acquiring is not putting them into safety but grave danger. Trump called the regime a hell that no person deserves. But Trump did offer a path for a better future, given that North puts an end to its ballistic missile launches and achieves complete verifiable denuclearization. He said the regime is trying to seek conflict abroad to distract failure at home. He also said the longer we wait, the greater the danger grows and the fewer options on the table. He stressed that his administration is different from the previous U.S. government and said that North Korea should not try them and not underestimate them. He also called on the international community, including China and Russia, to fully implement UN Security Council sanctions. And until the day North Korea gives up its nuclear program, the U.S. will stand strong with eyes on Pyongyang. That's all I have for now.